Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching this video. I am Candy, and this is my book, Finding Life in Between. And as a part of the book launch, I'm doing a series of interviews with some awesome women in my life. And today's guest is Consuela Munoz, and she is the confidence queen next door. Now, Consuela and I met actually via a referral, kind of just a networking meeting several months ago, and we hit it off. So we actually chat and collaborate almost weekly, right?
Yeah, definitely.
We have some great conversations, and I'm really excited to be having this conversation with her today because she's going to talk about some tips and tricks for women who are looking to expand their careers and build their confidence. So welcome, and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you, Candy. I know it's getting into that crazy time of the year, and so I'm really grateful to be on the show today and talking with you about all things confidence today.
Fantastic. So we have a couple questions we're going to talk through. And the first is, now you are the confidence queen. So I want to know what makes you a queen.
So what makes me a queen is, many things, right? The challenges we go through, all the things that we need to go through to be working women, to be working moms, raising kids, making sure, they live to adulthood, those make us queen, right? For me, that helps make me a queen. But also, I work really hard to help women find their confidence and find their inner power. And that's what makes me the confidence queen. Now, the next door, that's because while I may like to wear my tiara, I also want to wear jeans. So I am the confidence queen next door.
I love that because for all of the craziness that 2020 has had to offer, one of the blessings has been being able to wear whatever pants we want to wear, right? Like that's that's part of it.
Sweater and sweatpants. Here we go. Right?
All right. So you have lots of things going on in your business, and I would love for you to share with anybody who is watching today. What are some tips that you could give? Three offerings maybe that you could give to people about how to own their confidence and things they should be considering.
So three things really for me, it's strengths. So find out what is most amazing with you and start there. And you can do that easily by taking the Strength Finder assessment. That's something I do with folks. Let's figure out what they are. But that's one thing, identifying them. If you stop there, you could, but how good is that? That's taking that assessment, put it on the shelf.
No, you are certified in the strengths coaching, which is a big deal because you can take it, like that's one thing, but to actually have the depth of knowledge about it is another, right?
Yes. And yeah, take it, put it on the shelf. But if you work with me and somebody says, oh, what are your strengths? You don't have to pause and think, like you will know them because you will be using them, applying them, being proactive with them every day because they'll just be something you recognize when they happen and know when they are being used in the right way. And that's how you'll feel your true power, is knowing and owning the strengths that you have.
Love that. Love that. So what are some examples of how I could take my strengths and potentially integrate them into my work life, my resume, my conversations? What are some things that you've seen and done?
So knowing your strengths, if you're working and they're like, okay, it's performance review time, and they're saying, how did you meet this this value, or how did you meet this goal? And you're like, oh, I have no idea what to write, right? It's that blank space, and you're like, you don't know where to start. But if you have your strengths report, it's easy to look at that personalized report, that paragraph for you, and pick from that, like, yes, that's me. And how did I use that last year in my actual job? And I used this strength when I was working on this project. And it gives you a place to start to quickly and easily write something amazing about yourself that you accomplished. So that's one way women can really use that to help in their career, to figure out, this is why I'm amazing. Here it is. And not have to have doubts about that, because no, Gallup agrees with me. I'm amazing, and this is why.
Okay, I love that. And that I spent 20 years-ish in a corporate environment, and writing performance reviews I think for most people is like the bane of your corporate existence, right? Trying to figure out, oh my gosh, how do I have these 3 things that we talked about 12 months ago? Maybe we checked in at the 6 month mark. Maybe we did something quarterly, but now I have to somehow sell myself up the food chain. And I don't know how to answer this question in a way that's going to make sense, because it's completely different than where we started the year.
Always,
And
always.
really diving back into the strengths finders that's a great, I wish I would have known that years ago. What a great tip to just pull from that so you can start thinking and framing some of the successes that you had throughout the year. I love it. Great idea.
And another way, when you're saying like deep dive, I mean, another way is really understanding where you get your best energy from. So when you're working in your strengths, when you're doing something that is what you do best each day, or as many days in the week as you can, your energy is just that much more. And people around you will notice. People around you will be like, that person's a go-getter. Look at the amazing things they're doing. And you know, when we do the deep dive, you can really figure out and hone in on those things that you should be doing more of. And so you slowly start taking control of your work and doing more and more of what you do best and less of what's not so great.
Do you find that clients that you've worked with, like it's helped them in their career choices and their career paths potentially too, to say, you know, this sounds like a great opportunity, but it's not aligned to my strengths, so it might set me up for failure, or this is one that I should go for because it absolutely lines up with what my strengths are. Have you seen that at all?
Definitely have seen that. People looking at, you know, like this is one of my strengths. So definitely when looking at a new opportunity, yeah, maybe I don't want to do that because that's like clashing with me. A lot of times though, folks come to me and they think, oh, I don't fit in this job anymore. And it isn't so much that they don't fit in the job, it's really having that control over what they are going to do or not do. So maybe it's they like this job, but maybe don't give me task A because that's not a good fit. You know, so but having that knowledge and that really, again, like owning that, saying, no, this is where I'm going to be best and this is that. I mean, there's this, you know, myth out there that 90% plus Americans feel that if the team has a need, I should volunteer and do that. But really, the truth is, you shouldn't just volunteer for anything. You should volunteer where your strengths are really going to be at play. When you're using your strengths, it's like gliding, you know, across the water, calm water. But if you're trying to go against your strengths and just volunteering because somebody needs to do it, even though that's not where your strengths lie, that's like pushing a boulder uphill. And so you really can figure out like, no, that's boulder time. This is smooth sailing. Let me go here. Definitely.
I love that. I think that there's so much to be said. When I was a manager, I used to say, you know, play to your strengths and then hire to your weaknesses. So if there's a gap on the team that you need to fill, like don't try to force person A into that when you have the headcount and can clearly hire somebody, person B, who's going to make perfect sense in that role. And so don't make person A miserable, like bring in the right people and let them play to their strengths.
Yeah, and along that lines is this whole idea of like, well, it's a stretch opportunity. If you want to stretch your people, have them stretch in areas where they're already good at and get them great at that. I mean, if you really want your team to be effective, efficient, productive, stretch your people where they're good so they're great. Don't try to give somebody a task that they know that they barely can do to try to stretch them, because that's just going to weigh the entire team down. That's not an effective way to really get your team where, you know, to be at the top of the line.
My gosh, that's mission critical. I think that's really important advice people should definitely take to heart. So anything else that you would like to share today about the strengths coaching you do, about anything that's coming up?
Well, so again, you know, with the strengths, doing that deep dive, it's really to help you own your strengths so you are able to stand out and own the room. Have the confidence to walk into any room you want and not have the doubts, you know, plaguing you. But as far as something new, I do have a quiz. I know some of you watching today might be trying to get to that next level, whatever it is on your journey up to the C-suite. Maybe you want to be CEO or CFO someday. So I have a quiz, and it's C-suite quiz to find out, like, do you have what it takes to get to the top of the corporate ladder. And so we're going to post that. I have it posted in my bio in Instagram. And if you guys want to check that out and see if you have what it takes, I'd love it if you could share your results. It would be awesome.
And what is your Instagram profile so people can get to it?
So my Instagram is Consuela Munoz. So I'm pretty easy to find. There's only one of me out there. So lucky me.
All right. So we'll make sure to add the links and get all of that taken care of. And then one other thing that I know we wanted to bring up today is about the word and looking into 21. So as a parting nugget of advice to share, please give your thoughts on the word for 2021.
So word of the year for me, you know, I have discipline and focus at like number 34 and 33 on my, you know, my list of 34 strengths. And so this whole I'm going to have resolutions thing is always a challenge. And so word of the year, that's one word. That's something I can play with all year long. So I really love picking a word of the year, and everybody kind of goes about it in different ways. I just kind of let the word come up to me. I'm like, oh, what's going to be my word of the year? And bam, there it is. So my word for 2021 is celebrate. And what I love about having a word for the year is how am I going to use that throughout every little place? And celebrate to me is one of those that can mean a bunch of different things. Celebrate one that we made it to 2021, right? Because just seriously, but you know, celebrating everything that happens, every opportunity, every like vent or something that happens to you is an opportunity. And if you can look at that and see it that way, then you can make a lot more things happen in your life. And so that's what I'm bringing into my life in 2021 is reasons to celebrate.
I am so here for that. I love it. I love it. I think that's my favorite word that I've heard all day today. So fantastic. So parting thoughts. You mentioned the quiz, you mentioned Instagram. Any other way that people can get a hold of you? Website, email, anything else?
So I have website, ownyourconfidence.com. And there you can check out C School and some other things. I have also started a new Facebook group, which is Champagne, Confidence, and Crowns. If you're a queen and you've earned your crown, come on in, join the more the merrier in the group.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And with that, we'll sign off and you and I will talk very soon.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.